Have you heard of seed bombs? They're usually a bunch of flower seeds that are mixed into a ball of clay or soil. The idea is that you can throw them onto a field and create little islands of flowers scattered across the field. This is the theory. Throw the seed bomb and everything will work out beautifully. I have been fortunate to lead not one, but 3 federal arts integration education grants. And our approach to the first one was much like a seed bomb and worked about as well. The first problem with a seed bomb is that you may be throwing these beautiful seeds onto ground that isn't prepared. If it lands on hard clay soil or asphalt, nothing much will grow. In that first grant, we jumped right into dozens of arts integration projects and concepts with teachers, but hadn't prepared their soil. They were sometimes unfamiliar with constructivist education or student-centered learning. The effectiveness of arts integration in a traditional behaviorist, teacher-centered classroom is limited. Said another way, arts integration is maximized in a constructivist, student-centered classroom. In the second and third projects, Create Humboldt and the Arts and Creativity Initiative, we spent considerable time on routines like Notice Wonder, which go beyond mere strategies to become a mindset for learning that puts the student first. What do the students notice? What do the students wonder? These are tasks which have traditionally been taken on by the teacher, as in, class, I want you to notice this, or class, answer these questions. Not only do we require teachers to use the Notice Wonder routine in their classes, but it is the foundation for our professional development activities as well. The teachers are taught by us with the same approach. Their soil is prepared for creative teaching and learning. The next problem with the seed bomb is the throw-and-go mindset. Somehow we're supposed to lob this ball of seeds onto the field, walk away, and nature will take over? While this may work for a tiny percentage of the seeds, most will die off. I'm embarrassed to say that of the 100 or so teachers we trained in that first project, only a handful are really making the most of arts integration today. Seedlings need to be watered, weeded, and cared for. How many of us have attended professional development for an hour or even a day and never had that training supported again? What might have happened if we'd been given even a little support? Or we may have tried that great idea we learned. It didn't go as hoped, so we returned to past practice, a common cycle known as the implementation dip. This has, unfortunately, become the norm for so much professional development. In our first grant, teachers learned about dozens of arts integration ideas with little to no follow-up. Again, what might have happened with a little support? Studies have concluded that teachers may need around 50 hours of instruction, practice, and coaching before a single new teaching strategy is mastered and fully implemented in classrooms. To quote the National School Boards Association Center for Public Education Research, most professional development today is ineffective. It neither changes teacher practice nor improves student learning. Not only do these workshop programs fail to increase student learning, they rarely change teaching practices. An earlier study found if the training merely described a skill to teachers, as traditional workshops often do, only 10% of teachers could transfer the skill to practice. Seeds grow best when they are cared for. In seeing the low implementation rates in teacher classrooms of that first grant project, we changed our approach completely. In the next two projects, we cut the number of concepts and strategies down to only a few per year. These routines were required, not optional, and teachers were supported every step of the way. Let's take one of these routines as an example: visual thinking strategies. This is a collaborative method of responding to artwork with implications for teaching across all subjects. In our first grant, we might have described VTS to the teachers for a portion of an hour and moved on so we could cover more things. Now we know VTS takes minutes to learn and years to master. We now support the teachers learning VTS more completely. They experience the strategy during the Summer Institute. The routine is unpacked and analyzed. They practice the strategy with each other and give feedback to one another during the Summer Institute. A trained facilitator comes to their classroom in the fall to demonstrate VTS with their students. Videos of VTS facilitation are analyzed. Teachers continue their education in monthly after-school trainings and subsequent summer institutes. They read the book Visual Thinking Strategies by Philip Yenawine and reflect on it in a virtual book club. They submit annual videos of themselves facilitating VTS, which both they and their coach analyze, and in-person VTS coaching is offered in teacher classrooms. See the difference? This is the VTS seed being nurtured completely. What I'm describing for professional development is not exclusively an arts integration issue. The same thing is happening in practically every professional development. Teachers go for a day or a couple of hours to learn the latest math strategy or about the latest language arts adoption. And that's the extent of the support. People reply, but we have to do professional development like this. We can't do it any other way. What you're describing is too expensive. Estimates of professional development costs average somewhere near 4% of school budgets, which is billions of dollars across the United States. And yet studies conclude that practically all professional development workshops that were less than 14 hours had no effect on student achievement. Part of the problem with professional development is our mindset, especially the questions we ask about it. The most common question is, "How was it?" And replies are typically like these. Thomas Guskey is a researcher who analyzes professional development, and our approach to it can be improved when we start asking his next levels of questions. Typically, seed bombs contain only annual seeds, plants that grow quickly, flower, and die. We want to plant perennials, plants that grow slowly but can live for decades. Too often, professional development activities are implemented for a month or a year before being replaced with the newest and most fashionable strategy of the day. At the heart of our trainings is a mindset that each thing that is learned will grow and develop over years as teachers add their own unique touch to it. But this requires prioritizing only the most effective strategies. If you can really only support a few each year at the level I've described, which ones have the most power to impact learning? Which ones will you let go of? It's easy to add dozens of strategies only to see them wither and die if we look honestly at what's actually happening in classrooms after the training. So our story of our current mindset with regard to professional development for our teachers could be summarized by adapting Michael Pollan's well-known quote about eating. You know, the one about eat food, not too much, mostly plants. In our case, it would be plant effective strategies, not too many, care for them well.